Welcome to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. The unemployment benefits is coming close to expiration on July 31st, and administration officials had floated a short-term extension to buy additional time to reach a compromise. However, Californian Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected the proposal yet again as she fights to put forth a broader pandemic relief proposal, which would also include continuation of the $600 weekly boost. According to her, the broader relief proposal should include allocating trillions more in federal aid for states, cities, schools, and coronavirus testing. Contrary to what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published just 2 weeks ago, the Public Health Agency now recommends schools to reopen. The opening statement in their new guidance read, "Reopening schools creates opportunity to invest in the education, well-being and future of one of America's greatest assets, our children, while taking every precaution to protect students, teachers, staff, and all their families." Ironically, a number of recent clusters of coronavirus cases in the United States bears a direct link to school-related events and gatherings of teenagers. A quick look at the recent COVID-19 statistics and impact. Friday recorded 73,400 new cases of COVID-19, which is the second highest till date. Governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, plans to limit indoor social gatherings to less than 10 and outdoor to less than 20, prohibit alcohol sales at bars and restaurants after 11 p.m., and impose mask-wearing restrictions to 6 more counties. New Orleans, on the other hand, has banned alcohol to go. And starting August 1st, McDonald's customers will be required to wear masks inside any of the 40,000 locations. Friday saw 2 states cross their single-day record with 1,000 cases in Indiana and over 1,140 infections in Oklahoma. Parents of children in New Jersey will have the option of choosing remote instruction this fall session. In a twist to the approval of international students to stay in the United States, newly enrolled students that have opted for 100% online instruction and were scheduled to arrive this fall will now not be allowed to come to the United States as issued by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Meanwhile, public schools in South Africa would be shut down for the next 4 weeks. The announcement was made by President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday. In fact, schools had reopened only in June after a 4-month lockdown, but will be closing again from Monday. In an address to the nation, Mr. Ramaphosa said, "We have taken a deliberately cautious approach to keep schools closed during a period when the country is expected to experience its greatest increase in infections." The move was made as the country makes it as the 5th worst hit nation with at least 408,000 cases. Human clinical trials of a potential COVID-19 vaccine commenced in India this week. Zycov-D from Zydus Cadila and Covaxin by Bharat Biotech are currently in the testing phase of their vaccine. The first vaccine was administered to a 30-year-old in New Delhi, and 100 others have volunteered to test. The Indian Council of Medical Research has identified 12 sites to conduct the trials. The current caseload of active cases in India stands at 456,071, with 849,432 recoveries and 31,358 deaths. Meanwhile, the Narcotics Control Bureau seized an unprecedentedly high quantity of opium on Thursday when it was being transported to Jodhpur. 2 of the dealers in this connection were arrested with 230 kilograms of opium on them, which was worth Rs 42 crores. Another country seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases is France, which reported more than 1,000 new infections in 24 hours. With a view to contain the virus and minimize its impact, Prime Minister Jean Castex announced on Friday that travelers from 16 countries will have to test negative for the virus to be able to enter the country. To this effect, either a recent negative test should be produced by travelers or be tested upon arrival in France. Some of the countries listed to observe this new regulation include the United States, Turkey, India, Israel, and Brazil. On Saturday, South Korea witnessed its highest one-day infections since March 31st, as it recorded 113 new cases. 36 of the patients are construction workers that returned from Iraq, and 32 are Russian sailors from a fishing boat docked in Busan. As is the case with most countries across the globe, England too is enforcing wearing of masks in shops, supermarkets, transportation hubs starting Friday. The rule also extends to people picking up food and drink from restaurants. Moreover, anyone failing to comply with the new measure could be fined up to £100. In a similar move, Germany's health minister announced that free tests will be offered to citizens returning from abroad. This new measure is being imposed with the hope of containing the virus originating from travelers. Further, those flying in from high-risk countries will undergo tests at the airport upon arrival. Ending today's bulletin, thousands of Israeli millennials engaged in a protest for 3 nights this week in a show of rage caused by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's impaired response to the coronavirus. Many young people, most of whom were not even of voting age, blocked the streets outside his official residence and demanded that he quit. "We've learned that we have to look out for ourselves," said Mayan Shrem, a youth counselor and former combat soldier who participated in the protest. The placard held by one protester read, "We will not cease to fight for our country. Change has to come from the bottom up." With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.